everyone. I just want to welcome you all back to yet another video. This is Sio's Lifestyle. If you guys are clicking on this video for the first time, my name is Sio Magula, and you guys are welcome to call me Sio for short. So I think this is the first video I'm actually shooting in the new year. I just want to say thank you so much for those who supported me in the past year. I'm gonna put maybe like a 2024 recap on this video, guys. As I said, I started my channel early November, so my channel is about 2 months old, but this is the growth that we have achieved together in this community. So I just want to appreciate everyone who has been supporting me. And secondly, I do also want to welcome the new people in our channel. Welcome to Sio's Lifestyle. I hope you're gonna like it here. Please do consider subscribing if you have not. And yeah, please guys subscribe because I did also notice, I'm gonna put a screenshot as well. Some of my people, I think on my recent analytics, I saw they said that 60% of the people who watch my video are subscribed and the other 40% is not subscribed. As you would see, we would have seen on the other screenshot, like I do have like over 7,000 views. Well, that was obviously what I achieved in 2 months, right? However, other people, like on my YouTube studio, it did show me that 40% of the people are watching my videos, but that they are not yet subscribed, and then 60% are subscribed. So 40% of you, or if you are clicking on this video for the very first time, or you are clicking the video, maybe you have watched other of my YouTube videos, please do check if you have subscribed. It does not cost you guys anything to subscribe. It's just gonna help with my channel. Okay, in this story time, guys, so I'm gonna share with you how I felt. I'm gonna share with you how I felt when I found out I was pregnant. Yeah, how I felt when I found out I was pregnant, and how I dealt with the situation. Just the first thoughts or what came into mind. You know, I'm just going to share with you all the experience that I had, and also maybe share with you telling my family how that went, as well as, you know, how pregnancy changed my life. So those are the main 3 things we're going to look into. I'm not going to go into details of other things because there's so many things that lead to people falling pregnant, and some people are on birth control, some they're not on birth control, sometimes birth control failures or all other things. I'm not going to focus on that. On this video, I'm just going to focus on finding out I was pregnant, how I felt, you know, my first thoughts or what I wanted to do, and also how I shared the news with my family, as well as how pregnancy changed my life. So so the story goes like this. So guys, okay, so maybe I'm just gonna go back a little bit. So I found out I was pregnant when I was in varsity towards the end of my first year. Towards the end of my first year, I was 18 years of age when I found out I was pregnant. 18 years, and a disclaimer, I'm not here promoting pregnancy or teenage pregnancy. This is just my story. This is, yeah, and I know there are a lot of people who have been teenage mothers, or other people could be going through the same thing. I'm just sharing my story, and you know how things worked out for me, and maybe from the story someone can take something from it, or someone can learn something from it, or maybe from the story it just could be anything. Someone could just gain something from it. So I'm not here promoting pregnancy, and yeah, so this is just my story. Yeah, that's all. So basically, I found out I was pregnant first year, towards the end of first year, and I remember it was exam season. Found out I was pregnant. At the time I was 18, because it was at the end of my first year, right? Because I finished my matric at 17. So 18, I'm in varsity, I found out I'm pregnant, and I went to Rhodes University for my first year, which is in the Eastern Cape. So remember, I have indicated that home is like in KZN, or where I grew up. Not where I was born, because where I was born is in Tata in the Eastern Cape, but home where I grew up is in KZN. So after matric, I decided I wanted to go to Rhodes University. I loved that university. I think for me, that was like one of the best universities, because I've been to three universities so far: Rhodes, UKZN, and UNISA. But Rhodes for me was like the best university, how everything is there. So I found out there, I was at Rhodes, and yeah, I was at Rhodes University. So I found out I was pregnant towards the end of my first year exam season. So now when I found out, guys, I was pregnant, and please don't judge me, we all have our own things, and as like I said, I was 18 years. So when I found out I'm pregnant, first things I thought about, I was like, oh my goodness, like what am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do? And I think the first thing I was worried about is like telling my mom, telling my family. Like, I know that my mom was like gonna be disappointed. I just knew it, right? So, and also I was just thinking, oh my goodness, like I'm studying, and I'm still 18, like what am I gonna do? And like I said, there's so many things that lead to pregnancy, and I'm not gonna get into what exactly happened or how the incident happened. But at that point, I had found out it doesn't matter what prevention measures were in place or were not in place. But when I found out, then I just said, okay, what am I going to do? So obviously I was just worried. I was panicked. I was nervous. I was just all kinds of like emotion. But I think the first thing for me that came into mind, because I was scared like to tell my mom and tell my family, and also I felt like, oh my God, what am I going to do with the child? Like and I was like freaked out. I'll be very, very honest, I did think about doing a TOP. I'm going to put the full name or the full meaning of a TOP. I did think about doing a TOP, guys. And also there were other thoughts thinking about, oh my goodness, okay, it is what it is. The baby's going to come and so I'm going to be a mother. But I thought about having a TOP. And when I thought about having a TOP, guys, I'm just going to share with you a little bit. I actually finding out I was pregnant because I did a home pregnancy test. Like I said, I was in varsity, so I had to get a pregnancy test from Clicks, and then took the pregnancy test at Res. When I found out, cool. So I decided like the next day I'm going to go. I think I was even writing like exams. So I was writing exams the next day, wrote my exams, and guys, I did amazing in my first year. Like in my first year I had like distinctions, right? And that's why even my mom, she was like, where did you get time to do all that you've been doing? Because where did you get time to do all you've been doing? Because like you did brilliant. I did amazing in my first year, because first year for me like was relatively easy. It's almost like high school recap. So yeah, so I did think about doing a TOP. So the next day I wrote my exam. After writing my exam, I went to there was a nearby hospital, a public hospital, and then I went there. Guys, that hospital was empty, because remember, it's like, I think it was near December, because remember like exam season, yeah, or maybe like end of November. The hospital was empty. I found a nurse there. I found a nurse at the hospital, and when I found a nurse at the hospital, I told her what brought me here. I said, I'm pregnant and I want to do a TOP. And that lady was like, okay, let's do like pregnancy test. So we did one. The pregnancy test comes out positive again, but then with a little bit of a faint line. This lady's like, oh, you know what? It could just be a hormones. I'm sorry, guys. That lady was like, it could just be a hormones. It could be like a whole lot of things. She was just like not having it. Guys, God works in mysterious ways, because I kid you not, like God kept on protecting my child. God kept on protecting my child, because that lady was like, nah, it could just be a hormones. It could be just, there's no way. Like, this is a nurse, a professional nurse. So she was like, nah, but the pregnancy test was positive. I was like, and it's like, she was like, I'm not going to give you what you want. Do you know what I mean? She was like, literally, but like not telling it to me, but like finding other ways. And then she's like, let's go to a scan. Guys, tell me, how are you going to see anything in the scan when, remember, like if you're pregnant, it's probably like, I don't know, you can't see anything in those early days in a scan. right? You can't, let's go to the scan. And then she's like, oh, so we went to the scan, she tries to put, and she uses the scan, the one like for the, where you, that thing where you put on the stomach. So she does that, and then she checks on the scan, she's like, there's nothing, I can't see anything there. Come on, you should know that you're not going to see anything because it's still early days, right? It's still early days. So obviously you're not going to see anything, guys, because I'm telling you that that lady was just an angel out there to protect my child. So that attempt to do a TOP failed, okay? I wrote my exams. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm just thinking about it now and it just makes me laugh. But also I think I'm filled with a lot of gratitude because I'm so glad that things happened the way they did, because like you guys know, my baby girl is here. She is grown. She is 10 years old. She's turning 11 this year. So anyway, fast forward. That attempt failed. That lady was like, no, there's no way. It's your hormones. Just go back home. Focus on your exams. I promise you it's nothing. It's going to pass. So she was just an angel. And then I went back home. I finished writing my exams. And then I had to take a bus. I was traveling with a bus. Every time I have to travel back home between KZN and Eastern Cape. So I traveled with the bus back home. Now I'm home. I am home. I got home, okay. So remember now it's December. It's December now. And I think like in December then I was definitely like 2 months, because when I found out I was pregnant, I was like I think 5 weeks, because obviously it counts from your last period, right? So yeah. So now in December it's definitely like 2 months. So now remember it's Christmas, guys, and that time my grandmom was in KZN with us. So we spent, because my grandmom's house is in Mthatha, but she came up to KZN and spent Christmas with us. So it's just me, my grandmom, and my grandmom we would share the same bedroom. So she'd sleep in my bedroom, and then, bring my brother, my mom, and then I think there was also a family friend over that Christmas. So, guys, I am home. I have this secret. I am home. I'm keeping a secret. Like I'm keeping a secret from my family. And one thing about me, guys, I'm just like, I cannot keep secrets. I cannot keep secrets. This thing was eating me up. But before that, before Christmas, I went to another public hospital, another one. I was still trying to get a TOP. I'm sorry, guys. I was still trying to get a TOP. I went to another public hospital. Now I'm in KZN. Remember, I tried in Eastern Cape. They said no. So, excuse me. I went in KZN now. KZN, another public hospital, to get another TOP. I get there. They told me the lady who does what you are looking for is on holiday. You need to come back in January. You need to come back in January. Can you see? Angel number 2, like protecting my child. Angel number 2, protecting my child. So another attempt at TOP failed. And the guys, I even thought about like going back street to get a TOP. When you say back street, you guys should know what I mean. And obviously if you go back street, you need to have money. And I'm just a student. I don't have a cent. Even just going to this hospital, I'm using like my last 20 rand to get a taxi and so now I go, and then, so I don't have money to go back street. So now I was like, okay, this is failing. This TOP is not happening. So I said the best thing to do is just to come out. But I could not bring myself like to tell my mom or to tell my grandma. I could not bring myself to tell anyone, guys. So on Christmas, I decided, this secret is too much. Imagine I'm having my Christmas food, but I'm keeping this thing like it's a lot. I decided, so at that time, obviously, okay, so I decided, okay, so Esihle's father was the one who decided, okay, in fact, because I could not bring myself to tell the news, to my family and to anyone, I asked Esihle's father, I said, you know what? I need you to break this news. Because he was left back in Eastern Cape, and me, I come back home in KZN. I was back home in KZN. He was left in the Eastern Cape because his home is in the Eastern Cape. So I'm back in KZN. He's in the Eastern Cape, and we're just communicating via the phone. So I then asked him, I said, please, because he called on Christmas, I said, please, can you tell my... In fact, when I was talking to him, he told me, I already told my family that I'm gonna have a child, so you better not go further with these TOP things of yours. I already told everyone at home, they know, and they are happy for me, and. So can you imagine, like there was nothing I could do, guys. So that's what he said. So he had already told people at his home that he's gonna have a child, right? And obviously that Issy is also his first child. So then I then said to him, because you've told your people, so I said to him, because you've told your family that you're gonna have a child, how about you break the news to my family? And then he was asking me, like, who is there? I said, my grandma, my mom. And then I said, you know what, the best way is just to tell my grandmom. Because my grandmom, like, we have such a, like, I don't know, my grandmom is like so, she's different, you know, guys, gogos or grandmoms, how they are. So I decided to tell my grandmom. Tell my grandmom. And then when you tell my grandmom, then my grandmom was going to take the news to my mother. So that's what he did. So I think we had our Christmas lunch. After Christmas lunch, then he calls again. He's like, is it safe now? Can you give the phone to her? And that time, I think I just had a nap. I then gave the phone to my grandma. Like I said, we're sharing a room, so it was easy. So I said, grandmom, somebody wants to talk to you. And then he asked who it is. And then I tell my grandmom. And then my grandmom just great, you know, chilled lady. And then the news, delivered the news. When my grandmom had the news, she was like, there is no way. She was like, there is no way. I saw this child. She was on her period just now. There is no... I'm like, Coco, I was never on my period. And then she was like, okay. Like, she was like, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, you kids, like the position you have put me in. Now I'm going to have to take this news and tell them to your mom. Because my grandmom also couldn't keep it. She was like, okay, it's fine. It's okay. Then drops the phone. And then grandmom is so calm, guys. Like, just disappointed, but calm. That's how I just decided to go through her. And then grandmom hears the news. Immediately, she gets up. And that day, my mom was taking a nap. Remember, it's after Christmas lunch. And a family friend was there. So, grandmom leaves the room, wakes up my mom. Wakes up my mom. When she wakes up my mom, she just calls my mom. She whispers, come, there's something I need to tell you. And then my mom is like, what is it? I'm sleepy. She's like, you cannot sleep. You have to hear this. Get up. We need to tell you something. And then my mom gets up. They sit on the dining table, like opposite each other. And then grandmom also, because I can't sit here. And then my grandmom just delivered the news. Just told her, you know, that I'm pregnant. Guys, that moment was just priceless. Guys, that moment, I felt so bad. My mom was so disappointed, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when she heard the news, she was so disappointed, and she literally just told me, I'm gonna try and maybe give a direct translation of this, but she literally said, I take you to school and then ubuye nenkomo enamehlo. I took you to school and ubuye nenkomo enamehlo, which means the direct translation is I took you to school and then you decided to come back with the cow with eyes, which means I came back with a pregnancy when she took me to school or to varsity to study. My brother's there, and then they tell my brother as well. And then the family friend was there, because remember now my mom had the news. Whoever's in the house must hear the news because the mood is gonna change. So family friend had the news, but guys, family friend had the news, and then after had the news, after the family friend had the news, then my mom was just like, right now she just needed to digest like this information. And then she asked how far along. I told her this is the second month. She was like, okay, in January, then we're going to have to take you for a scan. We're going to have to take you for a scan and just see and like really confirm. But obviously we'll take you to the doctor. Now what was nice is that my mom knew, and obviously I was part of a medical aid. So obviously now, because she knows, I can go with her to the doctor. So yeah, and the friend knew, but my mom was like, this news, let us keep it, you know, like, I don't want to say private, but she just needed to digest it. So yeah, and then in Jan came, guys. We went to the doctor and the doctor confirmed. When the doctor confirmed, I remember that appointment, I was with my mom. And you know, the only thing I think the doctor like also did was like just talking to me and my mom. She just said that, you know, at least your daughter told you. Other parents come with their teenagers writing matric exams just about to deliver. Other people come here about to deliver. You find the person has been pregnant, they've been having, and then they come to the doctor with their parents, like other teenagers come there literally about to give birth because they keep it from their parents. But she was like, you know, at least she told you, at least you have some time to digest it. And besides that, she's done with matric, you know, she did so well in matric and all these things. So just like, she was just trying to make the whole situation look better. But at that time, then that was it. So we went to the gynae first. That was our gynae. Then the gynae confirmed, transferred us to the, we went to our GP first. That was the GP who confirmed I was pregnant because I did a pregnancy test. And then our GP then transferred us to a gynae. And then the gynae did the scan for us. And then the scan obviously confirmed, which I'm going to show you guys just now. But I just want to finish the video. So the scan confirmed. And then when the scan confirmed, I think from January when I went with my mom, and then obviously she just knew everything. Then from there, guys, because my family knew, like the secret was out, and then now I'm with my mom, and then she knew, guys, I'm not gonna lie, from that moment onwards, I just like grew up. I just accepted. And I was just at peace, and I was just like happy that, okay, at least everybody knows now. And from that moment, when I went to the scan, my first scan, I felt a little bit happy, you know, like I just had mixed emotions, you know what I mean? Yes, I'm nervous, but I think there was more joy, like, than all these other negative emotions, because now I had accepted I'm gonna be a mom. I had accepted my new reality. And also another thing, you know, in January, my mom found out and we went for the scan. And immediately we went to UKZN, and then I had to transfer. My mom walked up and down with me on that campus to get me to transfer, because you have to get accredited, like your other subject for your merits and all of that. So I got transferred to UKZN, and I continued with my studies at university. You know, in second year was hard, you know, up and down, you know, but I had some failures, I had passes, you know, juggling everything. And maybe now this is the last part of the video where, so basically I had you know, it was up and down in second year, you know, and yeah, and then I just then enrolled in UKZN. I continued studying. My first year I passed, and then during the holidays before second term, this is when my baby was born. When my baby was born, because my birthday is in February, so I had already turned 19. So I was 19 when I had my daughter. So yeah, and then after having my daughter, second term, back to school, I just carried on studying and completed my studies. But I just do want to conclude by saying, you know, I was definitely fortunate enough in that after falling pregnant, my mom was like, you're still gonna go back. Like, she still pushed me to go back to school. Pushed me, and then yeah, I continued studying, and I had my baby. And also now, this is the part where, another part of the video where I just wanted to share. Obviously, when my family found out, and then my mom was pushing me to go back to school, guys, because now I was gonna have a child, because now I brought like this whole human being into the world, guys. Now that made me want to push even more, like in my studies. That made me want to, what can I say, that literally made me to just push even more. That made me even more hungry to want to pass, to want to succeed. and just make sure I complete my studies, because now I felt like I was responsible for like the second human being. And guys, like I'm saying, I'm not condoning pregnancy. I'm not encouraging people to fall pregnant young or teenage pregnancy or anything. But for me, just knowing that now it's not just about me, there's someone who I am responsible for that really, really pushed me to get where I am today, that pushed me to just want independence or to be independent, to just work hard in my studies. Like I finished my studies, guys. I qualified in my studies, and you know that pushed me to want financial freedom. And I do want to say that I am glad that things turned out the way they turned out. You know, I'm glad that the Lord protected my child, how He protected my child, you know, through the nurses and all of that. I am glad, and I'm glad that at the end, you know, I just accepted the situation for what it was. And luckily, my family was obviously there to support me. As much as they were disappointed, but they were there to support me, and they accepted the situation for what it was. And they just continued to push me go back to school. And the nice thing is that when it came to school or my academics, I wanted that for myself, so I guess it came easy. Even when I had like some failures in varsity, because guys, varsity is hard. My mom was like, no, it's fine, just go back, you repeat the subject or whatever, the module. And she knew that it's not like I was playful. Like she knew that I know, you know, it probably was a hard module, so maybe that's why. And so she just kept on, and so supportive. And like I said, I'm a full-time student, and I didn't have like financial means at that time. So my mom was doing everything for my child, and you know, supporting her in those early years until I started working. You know, a few years later I started working, and I was able to even continue studying, like now into my honors, work, study, and you know, sort of like fund my studies and look after my child. And so yeah, so for me, I would say pregnancy, for me, it was just another eye-opener, something that really pushed me to just want to do better, to have financial independence, and to just work hard and have my own things. Because like I said, I had this whole human being who was dependent on me now. It was not about me anymore, but it was about, you know, this person that this new human being. So yeah, guys, that is my story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just want to show you guys, these are my scans. It's funny that I still kept these pregnancy scans. I don't know if other ladies keep these pregnancies. So this is like the first scan, second scan, and then this one was like the third scan. This is my little girl when she was small. You guys already know her from the channel. She was such a cute baby. I'm not gonna lie, she was such a cute baby. And then this is me when I was pregnant. And that was my natural hair, hey? That was my natural hair. Now AC took over my natural. This was me with baby bump. And obviously you can see the baby face. Guys, that is my pregnancy story. I think overall is that what I can say, or what I want everyone to take away from this video, you know, when something is meant to be, it's just meant to be. When something is meant to happen, it's meant to happen. So for me, I can say that overall, I'm happy that things ended up turning how they turned out, or I'm happy that things turned out the way they turned out. Because at this season in my life, you know, in my career, it's so busy, it's so so hectic. And right now, for me, it's not the time to be like having kids like at this very moment, or like right now, right? I'm happy to say that I do have a child already. God has blessed me with a child. And you know, sometimes it happens that you find other people can be blessed with a child, and then they try again to have children. They cannot have other children in future. So you never know what the future holds. That's why I'm saying I'm glad that things turned out the way they turned out. And I'm glad all the efforts I was trying to do to get a TOP, and none of that actually happened, right? None of that happened. Because God was just protecting my child, and God really wanted me to have that child. And now looking back, I'm so grateful. I cannot have it any other way, because, you know, like I said, right now it's like I'm so focused on my career, I'm so focused on other things, you know, And it's like, at least thank God I already have a child, because sometimes you find that when you aging, or the more you get older, and the pressure, and you want to have kids, and but now at least I don't have that pressure. I feel like, okay, let me focus on other things. Let me focus on other things, building myself, building my career, and obviously raising the child that the Lord has blessed me with, you know, while I figure other things out. And then if I'm meant to have more children in future, God willing, then it will happen. But I do thank God for my baby. You know, she's beautiful, and she is just God sent. I can just say that. You know, it doesn't matter how the child comes, guys, but children are a blessing. Children, it's like a sign of a new beginning. Regardless of how they come, they will always be a blessing. They will always be, you know, something good, you know. So children are just a blessing from God. So I just want to say thank you so much if you watched up until this far. This is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for your thank you guys for the continuous support, and I do appreciate you all. And thank you guys. Please continue liking the videos, sharing, commenting, and please do subscribe if you haven't. And I'm going to see you guys on the next one. I hope you enjoyed this one. Bye bye.